Some holidays are not about sandy beaches. They are not about ancient ruins or grand museums. Instead, these tours offer a look into deep poverty. They take visitors into the heart of informal settlements, often called slums. People pay money to see how the world's poorest live their daily lives. This kind of travel has many names. Some call it poverty tourism, others call it reality tourism. Many simply know it as slum tourism. It is a journey that often begins with curiosity. It can end with difficult questions and a sense of unease for those who participate. This form of tourism is not new, yet it continues to grow in popularity across the globe. Tour buses and walking groups navigate narrow, unpaved alleyways. They pass by homes made of corrugated iron and mud. Tourists, often from wealthy countries, carry cameras and water bottles. They observe lives starkly different from their own. The central question that hangs in the air is a heavy one. Is this a way to raise awareness about global inequality, or is it a modern form of exploitation, turning human struggle into a spectacle for the privileged few to consume? The debate around slum tourism is complex. It touches on ethics, economics, and human dignity. Slum tourism, in its essence, involves organized tours through impoverished areas. These areas are often characterized by overcrowding and inadequate housing. They lack basic services like clean water, sanitation, and electricity. The term itself can feel uncomfortable, even offensive. Yet, it describes a specific type of travel experience sought by some. The primary attraction is the direct observation of life in conditions of poverty. This is not about admiring architecture or natural beauty. It is about witnessing human existence in its most challenging forms, a raw and unfiltered experience for the visitor. The idea of visiting poor areas for curiosity or education is not a recent invention. Its origins can be traced back to Victorian England in the 19th century. Wealthy Londoners would sometimes venture into the East End. This area was notorious for its extreme poverty and squalor. This practice was known as slumming. It was often driven by a mixture of social concern, moral judgment, and a thrill of experiencing the other side of life. These early excursions set a precedent, a pattern of the affluent observing the deprived, which echoes in today's slum tours around the world. Imagine stepping into Kibera, one of Africa's largest informal settlements located in Nairobi, Kenya. For a tourist, the experience begins with a guided walk. The air is thick with a mixture of smells. Wood smoke from cooking fires mingles with the odor of open drains and refuse. The pathways are narrow, uneven, and often muddy, especially after rain. Corrugated iron sheets form the walls and roofs of countless small dwellings. These homes are packed tightly together, creating a dense, sprawling labyrinth under the African sun. Children, some curious, some wary, might approach. The sounds are a constant symphony of life. Music blares from small shops. Voices chatter in Swahili and other local languages. The clang of metalworkers and the cries of vendors fill the air. Tourists, often in small groups, follow their guide. They might carry cameras, taking photographs of the scenes around them. They see the makeshift shops selling everything from vegetables to mobile phone credit. They observe women washing clothes in plastic basins. They witness men gathered around a game of drafts. It is a world teeming with activity, a testament to human resilience in challenging circumstances. For the residents of Kibera, this is not a spectacle. It is simply home. The lack of sanitation means a daily struggle for hygiene. Access to clean water is limited and often expensive. Interactions between tourists and residents in places like Kibera can be varied. Sometimes there are smiles and waves, especially from children. Some residents who are part of the tour, perhaps as craft sellers or hosts at a community project, may engage willingly. They might share stories or explain aspects of their life. These moments can feel positive, suggesting a bridge of understanding is being built. The tour guide, often a resident themselves, facilitates these interactions. They try to present their community in a way that balances reality with a sense of pride and resilience, not just despair. However, for many residents, the presence of tourist groups is an intrusion. Imagine your home, your neighborhood, suddenly becoming a tourist attraction. Strangers walk past your door, peering in. They take photographs of you, your children, your daily chores, often without asking for permission. This constant observation can feel demeaning. It can make people feel like exhibits in a human zoo. The simple act of washing clothes, cooking a meal, or resting outside one's home becomes a performance for an uninvited audience. This can erode a person's sense of privacy and dignity. Section 5. The poverty business, following the shillings and cents. Slum tourism is, for many involved, a business. Tours are advertised online and through travel agencies. They are marketed as unique, eye-opening experiences. The cost of these tours can vary significantly. Some are relatively inexpensive, perhaps a few dollars. Others, particularly those offered by international operators or promising more exclusive access, can be much pricier. This money trail is a crucial aspect to understand. Where does the fee paid by the tourist actually go? This question is central to evaluating the ethics and impact of the entire enterprise. The tour operators themselves can be diverse. Some are local entrepreneurs, individuals from the community who see an opportunity. They might employ local guides and aim to channel some profits back into the area. Other tours are run by larger, sometimes international companies. These companies may have less direct connection to the community. Their primary motive is often profit. Transparency about how revenue is distributed is frequently lacking. It can be very difficult for a tourist to know what percentage of their fee, if any, directly benefits the people whose lives they are observing. Section 6. Glimmers of Hope. When tourism offers a helping hand. Despite the many valid criticisms, there are instances where slum tourism appears to make a positive difference. This often happens when tours are initiated and managed by the community members themselves. When local people have ownership and control over the tourism activities in their area, they are more likely to ensure that the benefits are shared. These community-led initiatives often have a clear social mission. Profit is not the sole driver. Instead, the aim is to use tourism as a tool for development and empowerment, changing lives for the better. Some tours, for example, directly fund educational programs. The fees paid by tourists might go towards school supplies, teachers' salaries, or even the construction of new classrooms. This can provide children from impoverished backgrounds with access to education they might otherwise miss. Other tours focus on supporting local health clinics. They might contribute to the cost of medicines, equipment, or staff. This can improve healthcare access for residents who often suffer from preventable diseases due to poor living conditions. These are tangible benefits that can make a real difference in people's daily lives. Another positive impact can be the support for local artisans and small businesses. Section 7. The Moral Compass. Empathy, exploitation, or just a show. The ethical heart of the slum tourism debate revolves around a fundamental question. Does it genuinely promote empathy and understanding, or does it simply exploit poverty for commercial gain or voyeuristic pleasure? Supporters often argue that witnessing poverty firsthand can be a transformative experience for tourists. It can shatter preconceived notions and make global inequalities feel more real and urgent. This newfound awareness, they hope, might inspire visitors to become more engaged citizens, to support development efforts, or to advocate for social justice. The idea is that seeing is believing, and believing can lead to action. However, critics paint a far more troubling picture. They argue that slum tours often reduce complex social and economic problems to a simplified spectacle. Human beings and their struggles become exhibits, viewed from a position of privilege. This can be inherently demeaning. The brief, curated nature of a tour rarely allows for deep understanding of the systemic issues that create and perpetuate poverty. Instead, it might offer a superficial glimpse that satisfies curiosity without fostering genuine, lasting empathy. There is a real danger that the experience becomes more about the tourist's feelings of shock, pity, or even a strange kind of thrill than about the lives of the people being observed. The motivation of the tourist is a key factor in this ethical equation. Are they seeking genuine understanding and connection? Or are they looking for an edgy travel story, a photo opportunity, or a way to feel momentarily good about their own relative fortune? Section 8. Beyond the snapshot, the tourist's duty in a fragile world. When considering a visit to an impoverished community, the tourist carries a significant weight of responsibility. This responsibility begins long before they even set foot in the area. It starts with research. Intending visitors should carefully investigate tour operators. They should seek out organizations that are community-led or have transparent, verifiable commitments to reinvesting profits locally. Reading reviews from other travelers can be helpful, but it is also important to look for information from independent sources or community representatives themselves. Choosing an ethical operator is perhaps the single most important decision a tourist can make. During the visit itself, respectful behavior is paramount. This means asking for permission before taking photographs of people, especially children. It means listening more than talking. It means dressing modestly and being mindful of local customs and sensitivities. Tourists should avoid displays of wealth that can create discomfort or highlight disparities. The aim should be to observe and learn with humility, not to judge or to treat the community as a mere backdrop for a personal adventure. Engaging with residents in a polite and open manner, if opportunities arise naturally, is better than silent, distant observation. Section 9. Conclusion. Weighing the worth of witnessing poverty. Slum tourism remains a deeply contentious practice balanced precariously on a fine line. On one side there is the potential for raising awareness. It can expose visitors to realities they might never otherwise encounter. This exposure, in its best form, could foster empathy. It might motivate individuals to support positive change. Community-led tours, when managed ethically and with genuine local benefit, can provide much-needed income. They can fund essential services like schools and clinics. They can offer residents a platform to share their stories and challenge negative stereotypes about their lives and homes. On the other side, the shadow of exploitation looms large. The act of observing poverty can feel inherently voyeuristic. It risks turning human beings and their struggles into commodities for consumption. When tours are run purely for profit, with little or no benefit returning to the community, they become extractive. They can reinforce power imbalances and cause feelings of intrusion and indignity among residents. The brief, often superficial nature of a tour may not lead to genuine understanding.